like pained look on his face all week, hasn't he?
He needs to go smoke some more.
Yeah, like a turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him enjoying a cigarette like a turtle for a while.
Because he's always looking over his shoulder for Andrew, that's why.
Yeah. So, not the last one, the next one was how to be a follower. Sam got that because he follows Ellie around the whole time. Anything interesting about what he said in that video?
I thought Sam's video was quite funny, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. Better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Just
an observation.
Yeah, I didn't actually write anything down from it.
How to be manipulative was the next one. Fuck's sake. They're having a laugh, aren't they? They can't be real.
What does mean?
They picked Tom for that.
How could you have never heard of the word manipulative?
It's bullshit. Andrew said, I don't know what that means.
Bullshit.
So Charlotte said, I kindly defined it as you tried to influence someone else's decisions for your own benefit.
That was actually quite a good description.
It was very good. If you Google it, it's not far off that. And then there was a row. Tom versus Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? She called Tom stupid?
Tom was being, Lowton, I thought. He was being very condescending and just rude.
Is it when he got up and put one leg up on the poof in the middle of the village square? It was like being all intimidating with his stance. It's annoying.
I didn't write it down anything about it.
Sue called him a jackass. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
In the part 3... part 3.
What is this?
I always write down what part it is, so I roughly know what the hell we were at. Ellie said, I knew that game was too good to be true, to Sam. Sam goes, which one? She's like, the one we just played.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, he is dense.
He is, yeah.
I don't know what that was all about. Oh, what, she was saying that it was a shit stir task? Is that what she just realised?
Yeah. This was when I first noticed Ellie's boob laces, tiger
that
t-shirt.
top is disgusting.
Where do you buy a t-shirt like that?
No idea.
I literally looked up and I was like, oh my god. That's probably the worst item of clothing I've ever seen anyone wear on any
Big Brother ever.
All international versions ever. Absolutely disgusting.
I mean, we've seen the boob laces in Big Brother Canada, but at least they're almost tasteful in they're like block colour at least.
Boob laces alone are just a criminal offence. Put a tiger on your boobs and
they're not even on the boobs, they're like below the boobs. What is that?
It was absolutely disgusting.
Deborah said later on that was a nice top.
Never trust a word Deborah says ever again.
Sue said to Hannah about Big Brother, this house is crazy, man. Crazy. It cannot be portrayed on national TV. It just cannot.
Okay. Well, it is portrayed on national TV. Then in Thorn Cottage, they were going, what's the capital of
capital
this country?
city quiz.
What's the capital of that country?
What's the capital of Norway? And
classic.
we got answers such as Sweden, Iceland. People really that stupid.
Isabel was got a tick because she got the capital of Germany right, Berlin.
Like, that is basic.
Come on. It's standard, isn't it?
Like, what about like tricky ones like
oh god, don't
Australia?
Start testing me.
Because everyone thinks it's Sydney and it's not. Like, you know, I'd give Isabel praise for that, but not Berlin.
I'm trying to think what the Australia one is.
Canberra.
I didn't know that.
Some of the housemates have built a fort.
Yeah, it didn't last. Once Chanel's arse got in there, it didn't last. They were like, shut the door.
Yeah, they did say shut the door, and it had a good door. That actually, it was like the top of the cushion.
I think just 2 people in there, it would have been fine. I think 3 was pushing it.
It reminded me of chicken stew. Michelle taking him under that table.
Me too.
I was thinking that's like against the rules to build a fort because you're off camera, but then it just fell apart. So it wasn't worth them like even saying anything. Rule
booker.
Then Ellie was in the diary room trying to say manipulative again. Manipulative.
Oh, isn't she sweet? Oh, isn't she so... Oh, she's so funny. Oh, she's my favourite housemate.
Got a t-shirt with her face on it. If you had a t-shirt with Ellie's face on it, it would be like repeated multiple times.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
If you had like pulling a stupid face going, hit me!
So then, that's when they heard the crowd cheer outside.
But there was no crowd outside, so
Why didn't...
you do the math.
I was going to say, why didn't Big Brother put that crowd sound on? But then they would have known for sure in that case. It's rubbish.
I want to know for sure. Sue went again. Just fast forwarded through all that bit and not sitting through that again.
At the wood section.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious.
This must be after the eviction that Hannah and Chanel were both crying. Were they?
What were they crying about?
About Sue going.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Charlotte said,
yeah.
that's when Charlotte said, I didn't want her to have no one behind her.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
And then Tom and Kieran said they definitely would have stood behind her if no one else had.
Absolute bullshit. Even like Sam, who was the last person, could have just stood behind Sue just to give her another number, but he didn't.
Tom and Kieran are the kings of saying, oh yeah, I would do this, I would do that.
Even at the point that Kieran and Tom stood up, they could have still stood behind Sue and she would have...
I swear on my mother's life. Yeah, all right, Tom, whatever.
Check on his mother. Did he swear on her life?
Yeah, he swore on his mother's life. He would have stood behind her. Well, you didn't, so whatever.
And
then they said to Ralph. Yeah, they were like, would you... Ralph.
He said no.
He was like, not in that...
Not in this situation. It's too serious.
Oh, no, they asked him once. He said, no, not in the situation. They asked him again, like...
No, not in the situation.
The answer's still no.
Do you remember what Deborah had said?
Imagine Chanel's reaction if Ralph had gone and stood behind Sue.
Yeah, I don't think
Jesus
she'd have been
Christ. No, go on.
Do you remember what Deborah had to say about Sue?
She was sent from God.
Yep. I believe she was God sent. She came to give us a message. She's like the second coming.
He sent that plague of locusts. And then he sent
Hurricane Sue.
Yeah.
40 days and 40 nights.
And then Hannah, Deborah and Chanel had a little pep talk, didn't
It was
they?
like alliance rebuilding. I quite enjoyed this from it's one of those mad parrots. I think that is one of those parrots. You know those parrots that you get in London?
Oh, parakeets.
Parakeets,
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how they were re-cementing the alliance. They said Hannah said we'll always be loyal together. Remember, we're the outcasts, they call us.
Yeah.
And then
they said you fought our corner for us to Chanel.
Yeah, about Chanel. And then they decided to also call Raph in.
Yeah.
Hey, Raph, come here.
And she's like, what about me? He didn't, but he was looking, wasn't he? Like, and then they're like, Raph, hurry up. He's like, I'm coming.
And they did that thing which, like pop stars do before they go on stage, where they'll put their arms in, like Madonna does, and put their hands in there. I was like, is there a name for that? Like, there's a high five is that, but like when you put your hands into a circle, whoosh them up in the air, it doesn't have a name, does it?
If you know the name of that, please tweet Gaz as BB
It's weird.
Superman. Hold on, do people even know what we're talking about? You can't even see that on a podcast.
Yeah, it's where everyone gets into a circle, puts their hand in the middle towards their like hip level, and then raises their hands at the same time above their heads.
That's what it is.
Ooh. So Chanel was expressing concerns over Sam's intentions again.
Yeah.
To who?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. Maybe in the diary room. I don't know.
And then Ellie said she didn't want to sleep in Sam's bed because she doesn't sleep well in there. Probably because he's trying to stick that giant dick up her.
Oh yeah, there will be that. But she wanted him to go to her room. And then, because he didn't want to go to her room, she says, shall we have the night off? Did they have the night off?
I don't know, but I'm quite surprised to hear her say that, aren't you?
I feel like she was maybe just being sarcastic.
She was cock hungry.
She is. Charlotte,
no offence,
bringing real talk about the housemates making out their best mates for life. Who was that to?
Andrew.
She said that Chanel never gave a fuck about her life.
Because you're boring, that's why.
She said that she'll miss the diversity in the house now. Sue has gone because it's a young house.
Yeah, whatever. And then what?
What you got next?
And then Raph said Andrew is a kooky character in the diary.
His diary room entry where he was like analysing Andrew.
Yeah.
Where he said that he thought he was probably more of a bitch than Andrew.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. They're both quite bitchy. Raph's not really a bitch. I think
Raph said something else in that diary room that you picked up on that I missed.
No, I didn't have anything.
You tweeted something though.
Oh.
Well. So as Raph is saying that he thinks he's more bitchy than Andrew, outside Andrew is laying into Hannah.
Yeah.
To Charlotte. I've got a long quote here, but I don't know if I can do the accent. She's doing my tuts in. Fuck off, fucking grotesque person.
Is that what he said? Grotesque?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Her face is upsetting by how moody it is. For fucking no entire reason. I hate when he keeps saying no entire reason.
Yeah, it's not grammatically correct.
She's a drama queen, fucking diva. And then he walked past her going, diva, diva, and then didn't say anything. But I missed a bit about him saying she was depressed.
He said, Hannah is depressing me. Her face is like thunder. And I feel like he said something like, I feel like I'm going to trip over on her face or something. Something like that.
Right.
Which is weird.
That is weird.
But when he walked past going diva with Isabel, I didn't like that. Did not like that.
It wasn't loud enough to be heard, though. She didn't even realise.
No, she didn't realise, but it would still look like a dick move.
No, but I was like, if you are going to try and do that to someone, you might as well have the balls to be heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but I reckon that might come back to bite him, don't you?
Well, I think so.
I could see it coming up in a task or something like that.
Oh, yeah. But I did, even with public opinion, though.
Oh, God, people going mad.
Yeah, and I had done, the day before, a little poll on Twitter asking, like, who people thought would get the 15k, and they clearly said Andrew above Sam, but now I wonder, like, people might change their tune now, though I don't think it will make them like Sam anymore. But
no. I think people hate Andrew a lot more than we do.
Oh, do they? You think generally people dislike it?
From my Twitter feed, they fucking hate him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird. It doesn't seem to me like he's hateable.
Well, I think we enjoyed doing impressions of him.
Oh, yeah. Getting mileage out of that accent.
And then
Chanel
said she was very happy to be saved, and she did seem quite genuine.
She got all emotional in the diary room.
She did seem genuine, I thought.
She was talking about genuine friendships that she'd made in the house, and especially Hannah and Deborah.
Yeah, and I think I will still speak to these people outside the house. That's nice of her.
Charlotte now started on Raph.
Don't start, bitch.
She said that she's not sure if he's genuine or if he's really like he is, and if Chanel is like she is, that they would actually be friends together.
They made friends on the first fucking night, so shut the fuck up.
But I do remember questioning whether I felt that this was a real, genuine connection.
But it is, though. But it is.
I feel that part of it is that Raph wants to be friends with the big character of the show.
I don't think that.
Don't you?
No, I think they're genuine friends. And they genuinely care about each other. Don't take Charlotte's side. Also,
I'm not taking a side. I've voiced that before. That was my opinion from the very start.
Oh, you and your opinions.
Keep them to yourself.
Yeah. But it was annoying because Raph had just been in the diary room saying he was glad that Charlotte had Andrew as a friend, and that Raph liked Charlotte because he could talk to her about geography. And meanwhile, Charlotte's
she's bitching about him
out in the garden, slagging him off. It's like, fuck off.
Do you remember her saying Raph is a fucking consultant?
Oh, yeah.
He's up here in London business terms.
Yeah.
Up here in London business terms. His starting salary would be thousands, I think she said. Thousands. Did she say just thousands? Like,
thousands?
Should hope
that
so.
Could be like 3,000.
But like, why? I questioned, why is she judging people on like their perceived starting salary? Is she like...
her
I think
job?
she's like a careers advisor.
What is her job? We need to know. Don't we?
I've actually checked on her like website profile for what her job is. It doesn't actually say.
Mandy, can you let us know?
She quit that job for Big Brother. So the irony of like Raph's diary room entry and how that episode ended was interesting. And he walked out into that conversation and basically ended up stopping it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I can find out what her job is.
That's it, isn't it?
That is it for this week.
Do you know what we haven't got?
What? Anything to talk about that's interesting and funny?
Well, yeah, but we've just done 2.5 hours regardless.
Fucking hell.
But we haven't got any feedback about BB UK. All the feedback we have is about BB19. Now, what does that tell you?
Really? I think I took some screen caps that I couldn't read out last time we did one because they were for the wrong country.
No one gives a fuck about BB UK, including us.
Well, 650,000 people, viewers, like on the last episode I've seen. 650,000, that is nothing. No wonder they've slyly dropped Live from the House and got away with it.
And also, like, I feel like this has been a bit of a crap pod, but also I'm ill, and I just feel like this week, like, they've just not given us enough to go on. It's just been Stu, Simone, the woods.
I think I quite enjoyed the